I just deleted the last video. Don't ask why. I had to take a walk, put it that way. I had to take a walk in. You know what? It is what it is. There's a reason why. Okay, that's fine. Gotta let it go. So I even renamed the fucking video, man. Because that's kind of what I was talking about. Which is, watch yourself talk, man. Because just right now, like, I was pissed off. Why? Because I deleted the video. It was a short video. You know, it was a short video. But anyways, and that's why I'm thinking about probably going more podcast guys or something, because I talk a lot, man, and I get off topic very easily. So, you know, I think the other video was called what really means to be an empath, or what exactly is an empath. But yeah, so, you know what, they need to be deleted. But watch your inner dialogue, man. And I speak of this is if you already left your toxic relationship, you already identified, because I was talking to I call her sister because I found her on Instagram, right? And she kind of put a dirty laundry out there. And it reminds me of, because there's stages. These are stages to your awakening, stages to who you are, stages of understanding who you are, spirituality stuff. Because you're going to get into that, believe me. You don't know it yet. Because like me, it's like Mandy Namoska, she told me, she's like, Johnny, you're very spiritual. I'm like, how the fuck am I spiritual? Because she was one of the first people that I met in my journey of awakening. Because that's one thing that I'm understanding is through your journey, you're gonna meet people, you're gonna see people, and this is kind of like, it sounds dumb, but it's the truth in the sense of like, because I said it and like, so made me feel stupid for saying this, and I caught it. Now I understand. I didn't understand back then, because I go, hey, do you know that when I first found out, like, do you know everyone we meet is there to teach us something? It's like, duh, Johnny. You know, and those are the narcissistic people. Those are the toxic people that you have to get away from. That's the people that you have to avoid, because they're belittling you. They're making you feel low. You know, instead of listening, being open to listen. And this is why it's very important to listen to someone else. It's like I tell my son all the time, like, son, even if you know the answer already, be open to listen. Just listen, because you're getting into somebody else's perception. You're getting into someone else's set of eyes. You know, and it's always good to hear someone else's experience. And plus, that's why we have this, 2 years of one mouth. It's freaking hear more, speak less. You know, and as I'm understanding, like, it's just stuff that I'm in development. I've learned this a while back, but now it takes practice. And that's how, which is my goal, is to become the best version of myself and help others who are in my predicament. You know, not understanding this stuff, being programmed with all these negative beliefs, with all these, because they're programs. You are. Your superconscious picked it up when you were smaller, through your narcissistic parents or your narcissistic family. You mean, and which makes you an empath, because you're in tune with yourself. You're in tune with your surroundings. You can pick up energies because you needed to survive it. You needed that. In other words, you're exposed to your spiritual gifts sooner than you were, because we forget. That's the thing. When I spoke about this, we forget when we get here. And our job is to remember who we are through this programming, through everything. And as I'm understanding, Earth is the most dense in the sense of dimensions, you know, because there's other places, by the way, if you don't understand that, you know what I mean? And you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but there is other dimensions in the sense of like that. This is quantum physics stuff. And you know what? Stick to the subject, right? Stick to the subject. Okay. And yeah, man, because we are multidimensional beings having a human experience. We are. You know, we're here to learn. You know, and if you don't learn it in this lifetime, you're gonna learn it in the next lifetime. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, that's how I'm starting to see things. So as you're waking to your journey, as you're waking to the narcissist, which I'm leaving behind, which is like, because I mastered that. I mastered that in the sense of understanding myself, or what role I was playing in the matrix. What am I feeding into this? You mean, what am I focusing on? What am I paying attention to? You mean, and if you're chasing somebody else, and if you don't have your core beliefs and morals, someone else is going to provide them for you. Someone else is going to give them to you. You know, and you're going to be stuck in the, what do they call it? The rat race, or the narcissistic cycle, what do you want to call it? You mean, so speaking of like empaths, right? What was I saying, I think. So yeah, man, we're multidimensional beings having a human body experience. That's for sure, as I'm understanding. You know, and so I wasn't a real man. Fuck, dude. I get into a little, because as I start to speak my purpose, you know what I mean, of what I'm here to do, you know, which is to help others like myself understand themselves. That's what I'll say. You mean, because as I'm understanding myself, you mean, and it's meaning because our thoughts, it's pay attention to how you speak to yourself, because that's speaking into, people call it the ether, the void, the universe, the field, call it the field, which is God source, which are your vibrations, because your thoughts do have vibrations, so they're gonna, and then if you're around that toxic relationship, well, guess what, you're gonna be you're gonna be like a mirror, and what do they say? That the world is your mirror, right? So that's the matrix. If you ask me, and I haven't been out there in a minute, because I want to get a job, I really do. But the thing is, like, what am I gonna do? I'll go back to sales, but I'm gonna get caught in the matrix, meaning because I'm gonna be around a different my environment. It's gonna take me from my dharma, or it's gonna slow me down. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm like, you know what? I have to get into something that with self-development, at least, or because spirituality for me, which is frequencies, vibrations, is a game changer. Why? Because you're starting to understand that there is something above you, bigger than you, and you can feel it, you can sense it. It just, you weren't taught this stuff. You didn't know this stuff growing up. You're too busy on survival mode, and more or less, like I said, half narcissist, or a codependent like myself, a people pleaser. Having no boundaries. Like I said, someone else is going to give you that if you don't understand yourself. So that's how I awoke it, through that whole trauma thing, and understanding like why people trigger me, why am I feeling a certain type of way, sitting with my emotions, sitting with who I am, understanding what am I processing my feelings, shadow work, they call it, all that stuff. You're gonna have to do if you want to become the best version of yourself, if you want to, because that's what I see we're here to do, is heal ourselves. Heal what? Your past trauma. You're reacting, and the chief speaks about this all the time, which is it's you start with fixing yourself, and when you fix yourself, I'm sorry, I don't want to say fix, because we're not broken. It's because, and it's rewire. We call it rewire. Let's call it rewire. You're rewiring the brain. You really are. In the sense of, because you're going, and then as I said it before, the older you are, the harder it is to reprogram the mind, because your deep-seated negative beliefs, what's been limiting you, are already deep down inside. They're already deep down inside. So once you start to, like I said, stop reacting to the outer world, start looking, and it sounds cliche, and it sounds kind of dumb, and I'm like, oh, but all the answers lay within. The chief speaks about this. They do. That's why, like, when I ask myself questions, I'm like, or like for example, like, why am I, because I'm like, because then I know this is the inner critic, I know this is the ego. See, like right now, just thinking about it, I'm already answering my own self, to my own answer. It's like, well, because you're comparing yourself to the people, Johnny. That's the biggest one. And I catch it, I see it, I'm like, you're right. Everybody has their own gifts, and I get it. But it's having patience for myself. Understanding, it's because I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm on the right track. I don't know. So it does feel good for feedback. And I don't get much feedback, at least for me. Feedback in the sense of like, okay, Johnny, direction. So I ask myself these questions. I sit here with myself and I ask myself these questions. And that's when I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just do a video? What are you thinking about? Like, and somebody asked, like I said, and I related it to some girl else talking about she's being empathic or being an empath. And I'm like, if I didn't know what an empath was, what is an empath? And it's, to me, if you ask me, I'll tell you straight the fuck up. And I like it. To me, but I think Louise told me last time that empaths, not all empaths are like codependents or damaged. That's from what I understand. Because that's what I thought. I thought every codependent was, or somebody, you're empathic because you've been programmed, you've been treated like shit, man. You grew up hard, you grew up tough. It wasn't easy for you. You chose your parents, but now that I understand you chose your parents to get here, that happened for a reason, in the sense of, because you chose all that on a plate to cleanse yourself in the sense, because you're growing spiritually. Like, I get the trust thing about the shit, because the truth, and this is how I'm understanding. And me understanding this is helping me rid myself of that old programming, and tapping into Akashic records. I think that's what it is. By aligning yourself, clearing your mind, doing breath work, being present, not worrying about the future, not worrying about the past. Fuck damn, what are you worried about? Asking yourself those questions of like, okay, I'll give you another example. I was talking to somebody, right? I'm gonna say their names, but that's why I go back to like all truth or half truth. In the sense that there's two ways to that, but I see it as I'm like, well, what I'm referring it to, it's with the person, right? Like, she goes, people see her as dumb, whatever, or stupid, drug addict, whatever, right? I'm like, oh, well, like, I don't see it like that. I told her, I don't see it like that. She goes, oh yeah, but I see she got offensive because she goes, but that's the way I see myself. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because she's not wrong. And I'm not wrong. She's not right. I'm not right. It's just, if that's what she believes, then that's what she believes. That's what's going to manifest. That's what you're thinking. That's what it is. So, because if I see, that's why I say myself. And like, I got the impression, I'm like, are they referring this for me to talk bad about myself? Because I wasn't going to talk bad about myself. I really wasn't. One second. Yeah, Leti.
Vamos a ir a llevar la carta con César y vamos a agarrar algo de la maqueta.
Leti, necesito yo escribir algo en el envelope, Leti. Todavía no. Yo ahorita escribí algo ahí, por eso. Pero llévalo. Necesito escribir mi nombre y todo y no está ahí. No, Leti, estoy aquí ocupado. Sí, sorry. Sí.
Mañana la llevo, pues.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Better.
Vamos a ir a la marca y a mí.
It's for thank you, Leti.
Come here, Kiko. Come here.
See, that's mad. It's about a letter. But so what I'm trying to say is, see, I just got thrown off, man. Just for a letter. See, oh, man, fuck it, shit, man. Oh shit, dude. Okay, that was a good one. I was on a good one. I'll come back to me. But yeah, man. So understanding yourself, man. It's understanding yourself. It really, really is. I mean, because see, I forget what I said. I'm already going 11 minutes, guys. 11:48. You know, and the reason why I'm doing these type of videos like this now, at least maybe it'll come back to me as I'm speaking. It's because I can make shorts of this. I make shorts of it, or I can because I have a hard time just sitting there and just speaking of one subject. You know, all days off. Or maybe a podcast, a smoke podcast, huh? Woo! That'd be a good idea. But you know, so it's okay. So what's been occurring with me? That's a question I get. What's going on with you, John? How you been? I say I'm good. I'm solid. You mean, I catch myself overthinking a lot in the sense of like, because I see what's happening. I see who everyone I speak to, therapists, doctor, counselors, you know, that part, the whole empath uprising, codependent uprising. But I see, but nobody wants to confirm that with me. So I drive myself crazy trying to figure shit out. Third eye. You know, my sidekick. I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. Because I can't sharpen that skills. I don't know how to sharpen my skill. I don't know that part. I'm learning that part. I'm understanding that part. You know what I mean? Far sight. What is far sight? It's watch the third eye beam. It's called the third eye beam. It's fucking CIA shit. It's people seeing beyond. I don't think I'm that good, but maybe I am. You know, see, I'm already see the narcissist in me. That's confidence, man. It's because it's confidence. You know, because that's what I say. You see what I'm focusing on? My thoughts are going there. So I'm like, okay, no. So that's why my mind, I go that way. And I shouldn't be. Because it's none of my business. You know, it's none of my business. It's trust the process, have faith. You know what I mean? Everything's okay. My world's taking care of me. As a matter of fact, Joe Dispenza said that one. Something good for empaths, at least, as you're going through your awakening. That's what we're talking about. You go through your awakening of understanding yourself. Because, like I said, you're damaged. Believe me. And I don't want to speak this because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Because it's the truth. I mean, you're stuck. You're really stuck. I mean, soul traps. Those are soul traps. Those are the stuff that you're supposed to clear up. Those are your karmic ties. That's the stuff that you're supposed to let go. That's the stuff that you're not supposed to be focused on anymore. It's to focus on you. It's there to teach you a fucking lesson. It really is. It's there to teach you a lesson. And you just don't see that yet. You don't understand that yet. You're still suffering. You're still in the pain. If that's the case. But once you get rid of that, understand that, once you purge that, start paying attention to yourself. What role you play in? What is it? What are you feeding into? What are you focusing on? What are you giving your attention to? Why are you letting them get to you? Really? Why are you letting them get to you? I mean, because that's ego. All ego. All old programming. All old shit that you didn't understand. As you understand it, it's because you're not focusing on it. You're too busy worrying about shit. You're in the matrix. Your war, all this, your 9-to-5 job. You're being brainwashed. You're being brainwashed. You mean? I don't watch too much TV. No. I'm not sure if someone asked that, but no, I don't watch TV. I don't. YouTube. I like YouTube. So these past 2 days, Yeah, man, I said, fuck this, dude. Why am I saying fuck this? Because I'm like, dude, because I know the more I heal myself, the more inner work I do, the more this is what I see of why am I judging, why am I reacting, that of being aware of my own thoughts, understanding my thoughts, understanding what am I going to project, what reality I want to choose. Remember, it's hard for me to choose a reality. It's hard for me to choose one. I'm not used to it. That program is missing in me, so I have to get a download, which is I'm understanding follow like-minded individuals. So, but I can't. I could. Changing that to can't, because I could get out of here, I could catch a train, catch somewhere, go somewhere, escape through the back, but I can't get grounded the way I should be getting grounded, should I say. But that's just that negative self-talk, guys. But, yeah. So anyways, much love. It's going 16 minutes. I'm not sure talk more, huh? I'll talk more. Or at least, let me get grounded. Take a second. In for 3. Hold for 6. Out for 9. It gets you grounded. It helps you. It just calms your mind. It gets you back here. So, like I said, as you start to understand yourself, because that's all about. It's understanding yourself, defining self-love, loving yourself, not needing the outside stuff. Going back to that, there you go. Once you start fixing your inside, right? Once you start fixing your inside, your outer world should reflect, right? You know what? People, that's a sign for me, John. Just quit where you're in. Take your spirit, take it. See, stuff like that, man. Understanding like things like that. Know when to speak. Speak less. Don't speak just to speak. That's what I'm just doing now. I'm speaking just to speak. So don't do that. Okay. Things like that, man. Ask yourself questions. But you're gonna be a badass, man. Believe me. I know you are. Why? Because you're understanding yourself. You know that no longer letting outside things validate you. No longer outside things get you to react. And that's where it's very, very important when you start to do all that stuff, like the breathing, the breath work, the meditation. That helps you be present, so you stop reacting, because you're taking a second, like, dude, you're projecting. That's really how you feel. That's not life. That's how you feel. And that's the outside world, because it's easier for them, meaning the narcissistic people that don't understand, that don't know. And I've worked in. Because people really don't know. Some people think they really are empaths, but they're not. They're covert narcs, or if you pay attention to them, pay attention, just pay attention. If you pay attention to someone long enough, you'll see. You'll see. Believe me, you will. But you'll see if you do the work. I mean, meaning, excuse me. No, man, sorry, it was door chakra. Oh, man, fuck, dude. But yeah, man, so people are gonna meet you as deep as they met themselves, man. So they're only gonna see you as much as they see themselves. Things like that. I mean, so I just trip out, dude. And because what I'm doing now is like, it's okay to see something, but don't judge it. Don't judge it. Don't try. Because if you do, you're attaching it to something, which is ego, which is, and it's normally, it's because of something that's in you that you need to fix or miss if you're criticizing. But this is where if you see the beauty in somebody, like that's like as me being a codependent, or at least medical codependent, toxic person before, I would try to see the good in people, meaning to make chances, no boundaries, but once someone shows you the colors, believe it, man, it's there. Trick me once, shame on you. Trick me twice, shame on me. So yeah, man, we're 19 minutes. Just want to say thank you guys. Just wanted to get on here and speak a little bit about that. Not sure if we want to talk about stuff like this or not, but we're on here and we're developing. We're helping ourselves. The more you share, the more I heal. The more we're just healing each other, which is sharing information. Because there's stuff in me that I need to share with people, and I really do. And I'm the example. Believe me, I'm the example, man. We're gonna get there. That's what I'm saying. Have patience with yourself. Breathe. It's get out of the mind. You need to take a walk, get grounded. If you're blessed, because I'm not blessed enough to do that, but we'll get there, and it's okay. Right now, I'm here for a reason. Count Trip, as I said, my world is taking care of me. Joe Dispenza was talking about this, so let's get into it, I think, earlier. But much love, guys. We're about 20 minutes long. So, bye. Oh, hit like and subscribe. Hit like and subscribe. Make sure.